How to learn about money for investing. In this video, I'm going to talk about how do you create that wealth? How do you learn about money? Because without money, you can't invest. It's so interesting when I hear people say, I want to be financially free. And I say, well, how much money do you have to invest? And they look at me like, oh, I don't know. So I need you to stay to the end of the video because that's what I'm going to tell you. You don't ever have to use your own money. In fact, as you create more and more money, knowing what to do with your money becomes an interesting challenge because I'm going to talk to you about OPM. Stay to the end of this video. So I'm going to talk about 4 things in this video. Number 1, what are the books you should be reading? What's the education? Because I'll tell you, since this pandemic happened, it is crowded out there and there's a lot of crap you should never read. Number 2, what events do you need to be going to? I'm going to call it the philosophy lane. Like, what philosophy are you really going to be living and choosing in? Which then brings you to number 3, who do you need to be listening to? And of course, I'm going to be in that category. But seriously, there's a group of us that teach the same thing. We're like the extension of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad brand. You cannot be listening to others, so stay tuned. That's a deep conversation with you. And then number 4, which is, I think, a real pivot to having you starting to think the way the wealthy do, is the difference between debits and credit and good debt and bad debt. Until you understand that, you will be tangled up becoming a millionaire. So get a pen and paper, let's begin. So what books should you be listening to? So in this philosophy lane, I'm going to call it, I didn't really discover it. I was kind of listening and reading everything. At 17, I was given the book Think and Grow Rich, which got me into a lot of categories, right? Just opened the door to a very different world than growing up at a farm in Nebraska, never talking about assets, liability, and net worth. So number 1, are you wanting to get really rich or are you wanting to just do okay? Because there's a big difference. If you want to just do okay, then you can just go out and listen to the traditional financial institutes, Susie Orman. Honestly, I want to put Tony Robbins in that category. Tony doesn't teach you how to be wealthy. He teaches mindset. He's mostly a mindset and get in state coach. Even though he has a money book, there's no commitment in there to make you a millionaire. I got this, right? I am the millionaire maker. I got a 3-5-year plan for you. But you have to do everything I say in the order that I say it. So why is it so difficult? And I really want to speak to, again, the books you're reading, right? So in category, if you're listening to Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, they're going to tell you to cut up the credit cards, never have debt, pay everything off, pay your house off right away. Odd things that rich people wouldn't do, right? So you can't stay and listen to those conversations and then be in my conversation. If you are listening to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Sharon Lechter just wrote a book, Exit Rich, brilliant book. Any of the Think and Grow Rich series, from 3 Feet from Gold, Outwitting the Devil, anything in the Napoleon Hill category, you're in our lane, right? Keith Cunningham's in our lane. Dolph DeRuse, remember all the Rich Dad, Poor Dad team. I was on that team. I was the cash flow girl for the game. So it's really important that you pick a path and stay in that lane, right? So you would stay in this lane. Gary Vee's in this lane. I'm trying to think of who other, Tim Ferriss is in this lane. But there's a lot of people who aren't in this lane. And if you're reading mixed messages, it'd be like, I want to be fat and skinny. Well, do you want to be rich? You want to be poor? So as you read books, immediately, if you have a book that's out of the category of where you're going, out of the goals, just close it, give it away. Put it up on eBay. Don't even read it. Don't contaminate your thinking. Because what you cannot do, and I have too many clients that do this, they're trying to use Susie Orman tactics. Like, I know that you are confused when you tell me this. When you tell me, I'm going to get out of debt, then I'm going to learn to be a millionaire. It's like, no. Because by the time I'm done with you, you're going to have a lot of good debt. See, debt's just the cost of money. And so the understanding, like reading my book, read The Millionaire Maker, read all 5 of my books actually in order. The Millionaire Maker book, The Millionaire Maker's Guide to a Cash Machine. So that's making 6, 7, 8 figures. And then Millionaire Maker's Guide to Wealth Cycle Investing. How are you going to invest the money that you make? And then those of you that are super starters, right, and you have kids, put more cash in your pocket. How do you get that side hustle going? Now, if you already have one, you can probably skip that book. There's a lot of good details about business in there. And then the big one I think everyone needs to read is Yes Energy. Because you can live your life through the lens of yes, or you live your life through the lens of no. So those are the books you need to be reading. What event do you need to go to? I do an event now every 3 weeks. And it is called the Millionaire Intensive. And it is a very specific, very wide range. So beginners can be in it and very advanced multimillionaires can be in it. So I teach for 2 hours. We put you into some breakout groups, given who you are and what your goals are. Then I come back and I teach more advanced strategies for 2 hours. Those of you who want to stay, we'll put you into a marketplace for 2 hours. So from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock on a Thursday every 3 weeks, millionaire intensive, and then we have a marketplace. If you really want to stay and make money, stay the next day from 10 to 3. We open up the marketplace and we stay as long as you stay. We've had people literally in 2 days make over $20,000. Like, this is real new money. Because some of you, you're right on the verge of doing things right, but you need the right event, you need the right environment, and then number 3, you need the right mentor. So I am very hands-on with my clients. They get my cell phone number. I can promise you, I can name 5 men, well, a few women, but mostly men. You aren't getting their cell phone number. It was the last thing you did. It doesn't matter if you paid them $40,000, $60,000, $85,000. So you will become a client of mine. You will get my cell phone because we need to talk. Yes, I have a huge team of experts. I may not be the one that you talk to all the time. I might send you to our marketing expert team, our sales expert team. I'm going to send you to credit repair. I might send you over to a bookkeeper, to a tax strategist, to a qualified plan expert, to a due diligence expert. So I'm going to navigate and advocate for you to become a millionaire, and quick. Right? So if you want to learn money about investing specifically, you've got to read the right books. You got to go to the right event. You got to have the right mentor. You don't need a whole bunch of us, because with just one group of integrated wealth systems, you get a whole team. So basically, you're buying a team and you're buying our systems for you to become a 3 to 5 year millionaire. This is not difficult. Before I go to the big finale of OPM, debt, good debt, bad debt, credit, debits, all of that, I want you to subscribe to my channel. If you're enjoying this and you want to be here every day, think of this as like your 10 to 12 minute, financial fitness check every day. Notification on your subscription. It's going to pop up. You're going to open up my YouTube channel. Listen. If you want me to be talking about something else, put some comments in and share. We need lots of people in this conversation. So if you're the only one and you're looking side to side to your family and friends and they're saying, what are you doing? Say, you need to be doing what I'm doing. So you don't want to be, trying to teach them. Let me teach them. Get all your friends and family. Then after, maybe on the weekend, talk about what you learned on my YouTube channel. Start getting some groups together. I got some football players that get together, about 9 of them. They have a reading room. They're on my YouTube channel. They read my books and they talk about money. You can do the same. If you want money in your conversation, which you have to, if you want to start learning to invest, it's like that red car principle, right? If I asked you, how many red cars did you see driving around today? It wasn't even on your radar. The same thing happens with investing. If you're not saying, I'm going to go buy crypto, I'm going to buy NFTs, I'm going to buy real estate. By the way, the real estate market is going to be so lucrative in the next 9 to 12 months because all these mortgages are coming due. And people don't have the extra cash because they've been living on it. You got qualified plans. There's so much available opportunity to become a millionaire in the next 12 to 18 months. But you have to learn how to do it. And you have to put this investing strategy, right? I'm going to make money to invest money. That's the pattern that I'm going to teach you over weeks and weeks of listening here on my YouTube channel. So what do you do? Well, first of all, if you have a debit and credit card, guess what? I don't ever want you using your debit card. Your debit takes money straight out of your bank account. So why would you use a debit card when you can use a credit card that's going to improve your credit score? If you're using your corporate credit card, now your corporation gets better credit and you're using somebody else's money for 30 days. So yes, I want you to pay those cards off. I want you to pay them off. I want you to use 3 to 4 of them. For you that are in more active businesses and you have multiple companies, you're going to have 2 or 3 cards on one company, 2 or 3 cards in another, and I'm going to teach you how to forecast. How do you spend? I have clients that have 9 companies and themselves. So that means 9 credit cards and themselves. They don't even walk around with a debit card. So some of you've got your pattern wrong to start with. So let's fix that. And then good debt and bad debt. Bad debt's just because you're buying stuff, right? That's stuff you don't need. Good debt is because you're leveraging. And for those of you who leverage the EIDL loans, the SBA loans, the funding sources, there's so much money and it's so cheap right now. So why wouldn't you go get a 0% credit card and go get it to work for 10 or 12%? You say, oh my gosh, but I'm in credit card debt. No, you're using other people's money. Yes, and it's a credit card company, but it's free. I have a couple became a client of mine. They just got $371,000 of additional credit that they can use. So they come back to me and say, well, we don't have that much. Like, we don't need to buy stuff. I said, I know, go invest it. So that money now invested at 12, 15, 24%. Do the math, right? What's 100,000 at 20%? That's pretty much $20,000 of new money, and they get 0% for it. So lots of ways to get good debt. And as you get good debt, we're going to use it to leverage, to go invest and make you a millionaire. So again, subscribe to my channel, stay connected. I want you to take a quiz right now. I just want to see who you really are out there. Are you more in the Susie Orman, Dave Ramsey conversation? It's okay, we're going to convert you. But take my financial personality quiz. Takes you about 30 seconds to go through, and it's going to pop back out an answer of what your financial personality is, followed by a video, and then followed by an application to talk to one of my team members. So I would love to see if we're a match to work together. We are going to make 2022, if you're watching this video any other time, we're going to continue to make millionaires for a very long time. I hope you're one of them. Talk to you tomorrow.